Dear friends, I would like to talk about the scheduled caste rights in India. Um, it's not that we just started talking about criticism of the reservation in India. So this has been going in the Indian history for several years, probably the day when they started. It is true that historically the representation or reservation started with the Indian as a whole when the British were ruling. But today people forget about that representation politics, and they think that even the scheduled caste themselves think that the whatever the reservation or whatever we enjoy the entitlements, it is because of our oppressive position or because we have been victimized for several years. That's why we are enjoying. It's very wrong notion, and it is very important. My video is not to enlighten anybody else. This is to enlighten our own people, I mean scheduled caste people. There is lots of misunderstanding. The negatively it has been doctrined by different groups that the scheduled caste carrying very negative identity, that is we are victims, negative identity that we are oppressed, especially the people who are already developed among our community, the scheduled caste people, the second generation, third generation people. They feel guilty about enjoying the reservation and the other entitlement, and they think that, oh, it is our oppressive position, that is what we are getting all these things, because they are forced to feel guilty about whatever the benefits or whatever the entitlement, whatever the rights they are enjoying. Sorry to say that it's not a benefit, it's a rights. The scheduled caste people, whether you are first generation, second generation, third generation, even 10th generation, you should not feel guilt about it. You should not feel bad about whatever the entitlement we have. And we don't need to go and beg. We don't need to go and tell other community people, oh, we are oppressed, still our people are suffering, still we are treated as untouchables. That's why we are enjoying. It is shame, because we are not properly trained ourselves. That is what the community is not trained. The so-called leaders and so-called movement, they are spreading very negative feelings, very negative identity, that is Dalit, we are oppressed, we are suppressed, that's why we are enjoying all these reservations. It's a wrong notions. We are 1/5 of the Indian population. The scheduled caste people are 1/5 of the Indian population, and we need share. Not that 2000 years old oppression, 2000 old we are suffered. That is why we are begging that please sacrifice something for us. No, we are not asking anybody to sacrifice for us. We don't want anybody to give up your rights for us. We don't want anybody to compensate. Okay, well, your forefather insulted me, that's why you are compensating me. No, your forefather took away our land, that's why you are compensating. No, what we are saying that when India was under the British rule, whatever representation you demanded, it's our nation. It's as an Indian, it's our nation. Why are you ruling us? Why are you taking all the opportunities? Why are you filling all posts by the British? So we demanded as an Indian, we demanded our rights, our share. It's our land. So when it came, the India is not like homogeneous community. That's what we are. Why we need a scheduled caste separate representation or separate share for the scheduled caste. India is not homogeneous communities. If we are homogeneous and we don't have that separations, we are scheduled caste, you are other caste, all those things, then we don't need to demand. Today we are separate. Every caste is separate. Every caste is a nation in this country. At least we cannot go very minute and put it everything. Okay, scheduled caste has been constituted. And we all agree. The people who are already in the scheduled caste, we all agree to be part of the scheduled caste. If anybody says that, okay, we don't want to part of it, let them go out. So we as a scheduled caste, we demand as per our population. We are 1/5 of our 1/5 of the population, 1/5 of the Indian population. So anything, whether it is a land, water, administration, education, GDP, or anything, 1/5 of our share we are demanding. So why should we feel guilt about it? Why should somebody come and tell that, oh, you are taking our share? No, we are not at all touching. We are not at all asking anything extra. We are not requesting, oh, we are suffering, you give something extra. We are not asking anything extra. We are not asking any single penny, single rupee, single dollar. No, we are not anything. No, we don't want anything extra. We are 1/5 of our population. So what do we demand? 1/5 of the land has to be separated, and every village 1/5 we leave whatever population. Suppose we are not 1/5. Okay, what population? 10% population. Okay, 10% of the land you give us. So 10% of the GDP should come to us. So 1/5 of the welfare scheme should come to us. Well, 1/5 of the plan allocation should come to us. So this is what we are demanding. See, poor, rich, scheduled caste reservation is not based on poor, rich, oppressed, all these things. No. OBC reservation is different. OBC reservation, later on it came, even though OBC, many of the same caste people, even though they are landlords, they are wealthy people, they are rich, and they do everything, but still there are poor in the community. So for that, the reservation is allocated. Similarly, we can share. Like 1/5 of the share comes to us. Suppose a reservation today, say example, in Tamil Nadu we are 19%, even though we are 21%, but the allocation is only 19%. Okay, still 19%. Within that 90%, we can allocate 10% for the poor among the scheduled caste. That is a different story. That is within the community. How we help each other, how we pay back to our community. All those things are different. But when it comes as a whole, as an Indian society, so India has divided scheduled caste one side, the other caste other side. So when scheduled caste is one side, scheduled caste as a minority, we demand our rights. So 1/5 of the allocation should come to the minorities. One is minority. Don't be afraid of minority. It's a power. So this is what people say, oh, we are Bagujan, so many people. No, don't go into all the illusion. We are scheduled caste, and 1/5 of our population must get all these things. Not like we are untouchables, not like we are separate religion, nothing doing. Nothing. We don't need. This is very false things happened. The politics of this Gandhi, RSS, Ambedkar, all those things like came and they say we are different religion. All those things, no, whether we are same religion or different religion, that doesn't matter. We are scheduled caste. And the scheduled caste has been constituted legally, and based on that caste-based groups, we have been allocated. That is what the 1935 British Constitution says, Indian Act 1935. So based on that, when 1950s we created Indian Constitution, we follow the same thing. So follow the same thing and follow it. And when we demand this, we no need to feel guilt. That is what I am trying to say, that the scheduled caste should not feel guilt about what we are enjoying. We are proud of our community because we are the only original. That is what our demand. Today, so many people even go to UN and they say that we are oppressed, suppressed, we are Dalit, all these things. No, if you keep on doing this, the victim mindset, depressed mindset, it's going to give very negative things that go back to our movement, Adi movement, Adi Hindus, Adi Andhras, Adi Karnatakas, Adi Dravidians. We demanded the original inhabitants. So we are the original inhabitants of this land. So we don't need to give any proof. We don't need to give any scientific. We are also citizens. We are not saying that you rest of you get out of this country, but recognize as a citizen of this country and recognize as a community, and whatever share we are enjoying, it is an entitlement for us, and we are proud of whatever we are, and we take our share. So the reservation coming, and see, I'm not against the reservation of 10% reservation of other caste. I don't call them forward caste or upper caste or something like that. There are certain communities, they say that in our community also, like earlier OBC demanded. Even though they are wealthy people, the other community, the same caste, OBC caste people, wealthy people are there, but they don't come under OBC because there is a criminal layer into it. So the class based people selected from that community, and they have been allocated. And similarly, now the other communities which have been left, they have been taken. So educationally backward, they are educationally backward. Why you are going and telling that they are upper caste? No, they are educationally. I'm not against you don't give to them, you don't give to them. See, what we need is the scheduled caste reservation entitlement is our rights, and we are taking it out within scheduled caste. If it's needed, we will allocate 10% or 50% out of our 19 percentage or whatever percentage different states. We take it and we can share that with the people coming from poor background or first generation. Definitely we must do that, but at the same time we are not going to give up, and we don't need to feel guilty about the scheduled caste reservation. Scheduled caste as a community, apart from your ideological different, your Buddhism, Ambedkarism, thisism, thatism, all these things, that is a different story. Keep everybody, your politics separate. But scheduled caste as a community must be united. Take after your divisions, ideological differences, political differences, whatever differences, no. You as a community, we as a community must come together and we form. And then the demand, like when as long as the scheduled caste federation, different names prior to scheduled caste federation, as long as even the association, scheduled caste Adi association come together, as long as we united and we had a national level organization, our voice was accepted. The power, the people who were in the power, they were accepting. But today we are missing. It's very important for the scheduled caste to come together. Even each community, each caste must come together and they form an association. And then as a federation, we must come together. Let us form a strong organization and demand. Similarly, let us serve to our communities. Keep away all these your political differences. Tirumala on one side, Krishnasamy one side, this person is the other side, Mayavati the other side. Keep away all your politics. Apart from politics, the community should come together. You may be Hindu, you may be Buddhist, you may be Christian, you may be anything, but come together. We as a community, we as a scheduled caste must come together, and we should demand our rights, and we should be proud of whatever we are enjoying. We don't need to put our head down. Scheduled caste entitlement is our rights. No need to say that we are oppressed or suppressed. No need to ask for compensation. No need to make, if you feel guilty, you make other person guilty. No, we are only making other person to feel what is justice. We must make other person should feel what is equality. We must make other person should feel what is humanity. But many of us trying to make other person to feel guilty, other person to feel shame. No, we don't want to make your grandfather did wrong, so you suffer. No, we are not asking you to suffer. You are not going to suffer. You take your share as per your population. You take your share. As per our population, we take our share. We are partners. We are shareholders in the national politics. So we take only our share. We don't want anything extra. Thank you so much.